I'm from
You know
Pakistan.
more about music, I think. Nice.
My younger self would be very happy to see where I am right now. Yeah, maybe not,
It's
not the thing you should be telling me on Valentine's weekend right now. Go find someone to say that.
Can you please introduce yourself now?
So yeah, I hail from Jamshedpur, Tata Nagar. I come from a Bengali household, and yeah, I have been in Bangalore for the last, I guess, close to a bit more than 4 years now, and yeah, I think I'm Bangalorean at this point of time. So
You can say Kannadiga, it's fine.
yeah. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
That's nice. Just for 4 years, I think you're learning. It's a good thing. So, yeah. So, can we talk about your childhood days? Would you like to share about your childhood days?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I come from this seemingly small town, but it's not actually a small town at this point. It is a small city, and it's quite metropolitan that way. And my childhood was kind of like this park. It was very lush green. Jamshedpur used to be very lush green all around and sunny. That's how I remember my childhood. Yeah, lots of games and friends and bullshitting around, I guess.
That's
So
okay.
yeah,
That'll be fun.
I think I mean you don't see that a lot in a city like Bangalore, right? You don't see kids play around.
Yeah.
And of course, you have screens now everywhere, all sorts of screens. Yeah, I think
Are you a 90s kid, by the way?
I am. Yeah, I will turn 30 this year. So
Okay, I'm also 90s kid. So, yeah, because these days people, especially they don't know about the 90s childhood days.
yeah, I think we are the pioneers of that generation to
Like
this
transition,
generation.
we are in the
We
middle.
have seen both. right?
Yeah.
We have
that's
also
true.
seen the famous E2 what 3310 Nokia, right?
Yeah,
The one which
I have
was
seen that
unbreakable.
small telephones. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, we were like, I come from a time when landlines was
Landline,
the
yeah.
usual thing for the
Yeah.
longest while, and then you have like
Yeah.
now I have a flip phone, which is like going back into time at this point of time where you have like
Ah,
yeah, it feels like
it's Samsung.
yeah, it's a Samsung phone, so it feels like if I open it up, it'll play Chaya Chaya. But yeah, I mean, you get that, right?
That's nice.
It's
Hmm.
so yeah, it's kind of going back in
How
memory.
do you feel? Being a 90s kid in the Gen Z's world. I mean, like Gen Z's are quite different. I feel. I mean, but they're very nice. But still, like sometimes we cannot relate to them in some of the things.
I think so. What I'd say here is there's a very famous um, I think Homer or Aristotle who had written at that point of time that the young men are changing their beard styles and hairstyles and they're wearing the togas differently.
Yeah.
And it seems like the civilization is going to end because the young men at that point of time are doing things differently. So I think it goes on from a very old time that the younger generation comes off very different from the current generation. And although we used to think that we were the coolest ones,
Yeah, I was thinking the
right?
same. I used to
So-
think like few years back.
So, yeah, I mean, I also kind of cringe sometimes when I look back at my old pictures. I think that's a very 90s kids thing because kids these days are very picture perfect all the time, right?
Yeah,
So you
picture
say
perfect. Yeah,
even the school kids, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they
and the
I have,
style.
yeah, I have cousins who know stuff about makeup, and I think they're not even out of like they have. I mean, they even appeared for the board exams at this point of time. So yeah, very very weird. So at that point of time, I didn't like know anything about self.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Self-care is something
sunscreen
like-
was like I think sunscreen is the most I do about my self care right now. But like
Yeah.
at that point of time, what was sunscreen, right?
Yeah.
It was something which cricketers might have put on the pitch, but like yeah.
Even today, I see a lot of Gen Zs, especially even if they're in 80s, I mean, not 20s, early teenage, so they know how to do certain things which I wasn't aware. Like when I was a kid, like it's like after I came to Bangalore, when I started working, I got to learn so many things. But nowadays, when I see these kids, they're already like
I mean, you also have to agree on the fact that we were very cooped up in our own
Yeah, sure.
silos, right? Because uh, we and our friend circles were limited to our cities and not
Going out.
interconnected to
Correct.
other cities. And the only means of international connection for most of us growing up were like, people is watching television, right?
Yeah.
Because internet was very, very far off from what
Yeah.
it is today, right? And
Yeah.
I think the proper internet came up in 2015 when we were already in
Proper network.
college,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, it was
Then Instagram, everything
yeah,
started.
Instagram and all. It happened to start after like we were in college. Like
College,
it
yeah.
gained traction after that.
Yeah.
And these guys are like exposed to that at this point of time because and because of that,
Even small kids have Instagram, everything, and the
which
parents
is
and-
very concerning in certain
Yeah.
cases because of all the
Yeah.
material. So you see a lot of countries banning kids
Yeah.
from using.
Yeah.
So I kind of
it
support
has
that
a, yeah, definitely it
to
has
an
a,
extent,
correct.
but yeah, not everything should be exposed.
yeah.
Right? So
I've seen like parents handling their Instagram, so that is quite okay, I feel. But otherwise, I think if kids are
yeah,
handling,
what I've seen is a few parents, including one of my cousins. What they do is they curate these pictures in a very private account of their kid, not a public account, only family members there. And she is right now growing. She's not gained access to that account. And once what they intend to do is they intend to give her the password after about she
Yeah.
turns 16 or 18. They'll give her the password. I don't know if that is going to be the only gift that year for her, but
Yeah.
I hope not. But yeah. That is what they intend to do.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be cool for her. Maybe it'll be uncool. But I
it's
think
kind of
that's
a
very-
memories. I think like yeah, we used to have pictures in the
Pictures, right?
album. Yeah, right now I
So-
think it's all Instagram.
Me and my parents, we used to travel a lot. Now it's just mom and me. So most of my traveling pictures are all like these
Picture.
photo albums, right?
Yeah.
They're not on Instagram. So
Yeah, mine too.
and right now people are going back to clicking pictures on Polaroids.
Yeah.
Something fancy, but I still own a Kodak camera, by the way. Okay, like a old
Nice.
Kodak camera,
Yeah.
but you don't easily get reels, right?
Yeah, correct.
It actually defeats the purpose, and it's much easier clicking pictures and taking videos on your cell phone. But yeah, I think that is one of my cherished memories, and I like keeping retro old stuff. So that is something which I do cherish. One of the things which my dad passed on to me, like a Kodak camera, right?
That's
So
very sweet.
it was his camera. Like I think that was one of his purchases, and then he passed on to me after he got his own DSLR. So yeah, I still keep it quite well.
Nice. Okay. So I've seen you playing instruments. Can we talk about your hobbies now?
Yeah, sure.
How did you start violin? How did you learn? Because I feel that's quite a difficult instrument because I started and I could not continue with that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is I have been exposed to music all my life. Everyone in my family is got something like it's either dance or music. My mom sings really well. My dad was huge,
Classical?
yeah, a huge music aficionado, and my so for the longest while I was not allowed to listen to Western.
Music.
No, I wouldn't say Western music because Western classical music, which was something which was quite common in my house, but again, pop music
Okay.
was not something which was allowed for the longest while in my house.
Okay.
But yeah,
So that being said, do you like K-pop? Because I love pop music and especially K-pop. Is
yeah,
kind
I
of
mean, I
fun for
don't
me.
think I'm not someone who hates on music. Even I would say like there are merits to Bhojpuri music in certain sense for all the slack it gets. And I come from the state of Jharkhand where Bhojpuri music is something which you do not go without in a celebration.
Yeah.
Right? So, but yeah, I think music is a very personal taste, right? You
Yeah.
cannot enforce someone
To
to like
listen,
a certain other genre of
Exactly.
music, right?
That's true.
You just cannot, and you cannot also be a snob about music. Music is for everyone, I guess, right? It's one of those music art is one of those universal things which give a message of peace to people.
Mhm.
I think that's one thing which is still keeping peace between India and Pakistan at this point of time, which is the Coke Studio. But
Coke Studio.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, I
I've been
love
to
that.
Studio Pakistan.
I used to watch that.
So Coke Studio Pakistan is like, I think it's of course the universally accepted to be the better Coke Studio out of India and
Oh, I
Pakistan.
used to watch only Indian Coke music.
Oh, you should. You should. Oh, I am sure you might have heard Pakistani songs. Pasuri was very famous.
If I listen to it, I think I might, but I don't remember the names.
मजबूरी नू आने जाने ते पसूरी नू.
I think, yeah, it's been a long time. I
Yeah,
never heard this kind
it
of
was a
music.
very famous one. Then Chap Tilak. I mean, you have a great ensemble of artists who come from
You know
Pakistan.
more about music, I think. Nice.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
You're into music, yeah.
I
So,
have been around music. I mean,
when did you start it?
so I
When did you
started
start?
my music, like, I've been taught since the age of 4, I guess.
Wow, you started your violin also at that
No,
time?
no, no. So my primary instrument was harmonium or piano, whatever you'd call.
Mhm.
So keyboard instruments. Hey, hey.
He's sleeping. He was sleeping all the time since I was here.
So yeah, I mean, that is what I started with, and I also have a degree of sorts in music because of on the keyboard of sorts, right? And that actually helps you if you have the basis clear. Then that also helps you to move on to other instruments.
Mhm.
So I started violin when I came to Bangalore. So that was 2022. So it's just been 4 years, I guess. Not
Wow.
a very long time for
That's
violin.
nice. I started very long back, but I could not continue. I think it's also because it was quite far from my place. Every day I had to travel, and also, yeah, it was only once in a week. So it's
I
kind of
see.
inconsistent for me. I used to be here sometime, I used to go to hometown. But violin is one thing like I always wanted to learn properly, but people used to say that it's quite difficult. How do you?
It is. It's got a difficult learning curve.
Yeah.
But I also feel like one thing is if someone calls it difficult, I think it gets me more
Yeah, I know
empowered
that.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
ये तो मेरे को सीखना है.
But I switched to this keyboard later because I started loving keyboard so much. I wanted to continue, but I think I did not get the right instructor also. He was not the.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a great instructor, like a person is great as a musician,
yeah.
but not as an instructor to you.
Exactly, exactly,
Because
huh.
everyone has a different.
Yeah, and also I was very not to pay more, something like that. So I used to find something like less expensive places, and also yeah, I understand that point. So yeah,
I mean, I do feel like a good guru is very important when
Yeah.
you are learning any form
exactly,
of music.
that is very true. Like even you might be a good instrumental, like you might play nicely, but you might not be a good instructor to someone. That is
Yeah.
like
Right.
not everybody can be a good teacher. So
That's
I
true.
believe in that because they can be a good dancer, they can be a good
Right.
musician, but not necessary that they can be a good teacher.
That's very.
So can I ask you something more about your life? Like, do you have any good memories, like the happy moments in your life? Would you like to share anything?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, my parents and I travel. I think most of my happy, good memories are from me and my parents traveling. And my mom and I, my dad is no longer there, but my mom and I, we still continue that. We go on a big trip and a tiny trip every year. So, usually the big ones, when my dad was there, it used to be like these long drives
Okay.
to some place or the other. So one such memory was our first South India trip, like the first time we came to Southern India, which was in class 7, which is long,
Oh,
long
that's
back.
nice.
I'm not going to say what year that was, but I was in class 7, and yeah, this was way before internet or touchscreen phones, right?
Yeah.
And I think we started from Vellore, then Tirumala, then Bangalore, Mysore,
Mm.
Kodaikanal, Udupi, and Uti, and
You're the only
yeah, I'm the
kid?
only kid. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
nice.
So
All the
this all three.
pampers.
All the, yeah, sure. You would say all the pamper. I would say all the bashing as well. So
Yeah.
So
Pros and
it's a
cons.
very it's a very dicey
But very
situation.
protective, I think. There.
Oh yeah, yeah, my parents were kind of that. My mom still is. So
Okay.
so I mean, I have to constantly remind her that I'm the one who might be more well aware of situations. But that's a mom being mom, right? You
Yeah,
cannot
that's true. Like, do you miss traveling together with your parents? Like, before?
I do. So, like I said, my mom and I, we still keep that alive. Very recently, in the month of December, we went to Egypt, which was
Oh, you
fun.
went with your mom.
I went with my mom, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So it's always mom and me who travel, and although it got a bit postponed because my mom got a bit of arthritis, we were supposed to
Oh,
go there earlier. But yeah, now she's doing better, so
that's
we
nice.
did well. And I made it to inside of the Great Pyramid, so yeah, that was I
Nice.
think one of the highlights of this year.
I'm
Which is
planning to
very
go to
good.
Egypt next year, I think that.
You should, you should.
Is it a safe place to travel alone, solo?
Nope, not for women at all.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I was
it's
thinking to go alone.
Yeah, I would not suggest that. It's not safe to travel as a man there alone. So
Wow.
much less women. My mom at her age got hollowed. I would say my mom is a pretty woman, but she has been hollowed out again and again at different
Oh.
places. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I would say every country has good and bad, right? So
Yeah.
there were a lot of nice and kind people in Egypt, but there's also a lot of heckling and
Yeah.
it's better. I'd suggest you go with a group or someone.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I think I was thinking of
Middle
going
Eastern
alone.
countries are very safe, though.
Okay.
If you go to like Dubai or Qatar or Kuwait,
Yeah.
they are very safe to travel
Okay.
alone as a woman.
But not
But
Egypt.
maybe not.
Okay. Do you have, okay, let me ask you another question. So, do you have anything like, this is the moment that I cannot forget in my life? So, something like that in your life so far?
I'll go for the happy ones, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
There are sad ones as well, but I think the happy ones would be one would be seeing my niece for the first time, right?
Wow.
When she was born, and she's the first kid in the family.
Nice.
So that was a very memorable experience. You can never trade that for anything else. Another would be yeah, me and my dad nodding out in our long car rides.
Mm-hmm.
Take a guess what used to be our discussions mostly.
Music?
No, it used to be calculus of all things.
Wow. I will
So
never be
yeah, my dad and I were huge maths nerd, and
Oh.
it used to be actually a lot about music and calculus. So music is a lot to do with maths also, right? So a lot of the great scientists, like including Albert Einstein, who used to play the violin really well, if you know that.
No, I never knew this.
He was a great violinist, and
Wow.
he I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the formulae that we have today, some of them have actually been revealed to these mathematicians as they were playing or listening to some form of music.
Really?
Yeah. There are lots of you can read about that.
Which book would you like to suggest if I want to read
think
about this
there's no book about it that I know of right now, but there have been lots of instances. I would have to Google this, but there's actually a very famous one which yeah, I mean the best example I can give it to you right now is Albert Einstein,
Okay, probably I'll
who
exclude.
used to who also used to calm down or think about ponder over his equations and what he was working on at the time by playing his violin.
Oh, okay, nice.
That
You know things well, I think, about music, maths. Nice.
well, I am someone who loves to read, and yeah, and for me, maths also plays an important part because I think another thing which I used it for is geometry was very important to me when I actually paint also.
Oh,
So
nice. I do
paint
paint.
and sketch. So
What kind of paintings do you do?
I do a lot of acrylics and a lot of
Oil? Oil painting?
Oil painting is, I think, something which people don't really do well in the sense that there's a technique to do oil and there's a technique to take care of oils, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite difficult to manage brushes.
and dispose them as well, right?
Yeah,
And they should not be done in like small apartments.
exactly.
Right?
The smell also.
They need to be in like big studios in
Exactly.
or in out in the open, right? So that's why plein air painting became a thing for oil painting, right? Because you do it out in the open, so that the toxic fumes from oil paints are not something which you inhale. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think done just one oil painting in my lifetime.
Me too.
So
I have done only one oil painting. I think it takes a lot of time also.
It does. It is also something which I think helps me calm down, because painting is something which
Yeah,
helps you zone out if you're listening
it's
to
very
good
true.
music.
Yeah.
Right? And I personally I take a lot of pictures whenever I'm traveling, and most of my paintings are actually these pictures which I plan these pictures
Mhm.
out. Sometimes they're also very good candidates, which I actually turn into paintings.
Nice. Are you into portrait paintings?
Yeah, I do portraits.
Okay.
But it's my kind of portraits are more, like it's an individual, but it's not like the classical kind. It's more like like there's a human subject, and then you would have flowers. So like if you know the British flower language, like a flower represents something, like a rose represents maybe love, or aster represents rejuvenation, and you would have carnations, which sometimes represent the color of the carnation depends on if it mourning or maybe thankfulness. So yeah, depending on that situation, I kind of make paintings.
Okay,
So
nice. You have a lot of hobbies, music. Do you also dance by any chance?
yeah, that is one thing. I look like a bear on cocaine if I dance. So yeah, that's not something.
Are you planning to learn by
But
any
yeah, I
chance?
am one of my very closest friends. She is a very very good dancer,
Nice.
and I do help her shoot her videos when she is dancing. So that's the
Nice.
extent of me, dancing. But yeah, I am a good Bharati dancer as well.
That's nice. Not everybody can do Bharati dance, you know?
But only in groups, not solo performance. But,
Yeah. But that is one thing you want to learn?
I that is something which I constantly like to challenge myself. I wouldn't
Yeah.
not do that.
Okay.
Like yeah, if I turn. I think it's very important to let go of that feeling of
Yeah.
what if I don't succeed?
Yeah,
What if I
exactly.
make a fool of
Just
myself?
like my podcast.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is I think very brave of you. Not everyone does this, right? So,
Oh, thank you.
but I think a lot of our own biases stop
Yeah.
us from doing.
We judge ourselves a lot, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
we judge ourselves, we judge people, and then
Yeah.
our biases usually stop us. Like instead of doing something productive, you just go ahead and start criticizing others for doing
Exactly.
stuff that
That's true.
you might feel left out for not doing. So
Exactly.
I think there is the jealousy and the the feeling of FOMO go hand in hand here,
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
So,
I know.
I mean, that's
Thank
how
you.
I
It's
see
kind of motivating me now to do better and more, I think. Let's think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if people accept my request, then I'm gonna do it better
Yeah.
for sure. Also, I wanted to ask you one more question. So if you would like to give any advice to your younger self, what would it be and why?
Well, when I was younger, I think there was a time when I was bullied quite a bit.
Mhm.
So,
Bullied?
yeah, bullied.
Why?
Well, I was a very overweight kid, and
okay.
I did not feel very good about myself at that point of time. And I don't know
understand.
if I was a very quiet kid, and maybe there were reasons. So I don't think so. There are reasons when you get bullied, right?
I know.
You just get bullied if
Yeah.
you.
And
do
especially
anything wrong
those
or
days,
anything
it's
like-
like
yeah,
even
yeah.
teachers were like that. Like they never used to,
Yeah, I mean,
point out.
so I wouldn't really say anyone in particular is at fault, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it happened, and it's in the past, and that did screw me up for a bit, but What I tell my younger self is there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, right? And you
That's
need to
true. That's very
just be
sweet.
patient.
Yeah. Nice.
Everything turns up well in the end, I guess, if
Yeah.
you just have patience. So
I understand that. That's very true. So,
I'm very glad for the friends I have right now in my life, and
who is your best friend? If you can share.
there are a lot of friends.
Not one friend.
Well,
Very
I'd-
close. Like, suppose you
I'd
have.
not like to take their name right now on screen because I don't want to give their ego a boost, right?
Oh,
So,
it's okay.
so they know who they are.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I just leave it at that. So
Okay.
yeah, I have a lot of important people right now in my life,
That's nice.
and I think my younger self would be very happy to see where I am right now. So
You love your friends so much.
I do. I think they are not friends; they are more like family to me right now.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing to have
Exactly.
because I do not believe blood is thicker than water. I do believe it's quite the other way around. Water is more important to you.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think that's more
You
important.
and I do have wonderful friends. I understand. I can relate to
Yeah.
that. So yeah, before we wrap up, I have one last question. So now we talked about you, and based on your experience so far in life, if you would like to give any suggestion or any kind of a, last note to my audience, what kind of advice or what kind of a thing would like to share with my audience?
Sure, I mean,
I know, not very old, but yeah, based on your life experience so far.
यार chill किया करो. Don't go by social media. Everyone is just curating whatever they
Yeah,
feel is the best.
exactly.
Just be
Like I do.
I mean, that's good actually. Yeah, I mean, you should also curate what's nice in your life, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't show the sorrow in your life. I do believe
Exactly.
that's something private, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but also, I mean, I think we are just a lot of the problems that we have right now, including the political ones, is all because of comparison.
Yeah.
I think the politicians, everyone is just like, I do not have as much as this other X or Y does, right? In whatever sense there is,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I think that holds true for a lot of things. And I think, yeah, the moment you start letting go of judgment, you'd get very far.
Yeah,
That's
thank
what I
you,
would
thank
say.
you. I mean, that's a very wonderful advice. I think it is just for me as well because I do a lot of judgment. I judge myself a lot,
Yeah,
even
we
before.
all do. Even I do, but
Yeah.
it's always good to be kind to yourself, I think.
Yeah, that's very difficult.
And
I think you
others.
can be kind to others. I mean, for me, it's quite difficult the other way. Like I
Yeah.
can be kind to others, but when it comes to me,
We get very
I
self-critical.
yeah, very self-critic, and I always like, oh, you can't do this, that, and it's like
that happens. That's a very human thing to do.
yeah,
It's always important to remember that, very easy to go down that road, but not to go down that road. Yeah.
Since you have this Bengali background, would you like to say something in Bengali, like anything, like this in your language?
So what do you want me to say?
Anything, like any one-line thing, like life is beautiful, something. In
Okay. জীবনটা অনেক সুন্দর.
nice, Jubun,
জীবন. জীবন, you have জীবন,
okay,
right?
Jibon,
জীবনটা অনেক সুন্দর.
Jibonta অনেক সুন্দর,
অনেক. অনেক, you have অনেক, right? So অনেক
অনেক
সুন্দর.
সুন্দর,
জীবনটা
জীবনটা
অনেক
অনেক
সুন্দর.
সুন্দর. I know one more thing.
Yeah.
আমি ভালোবাসি, that is
আমি তোমায় ভালোবাসি, but yeah, maybe not
it's
not the thing you should be telling me on Valentine's week. Asking someone to say that. but I do appreciate that. Thank you.
okay. So I'll tell you one thing in Kannada if you would like to learn something in Kannada.
Yeah, sure.
You already know Kannada already. You
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ.
understand. Okay. So probably I would like to teach you something. ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
You're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You too. ನೀವು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. And thank you so much, Sayan, for accepting and for coming to this podcast.
Thank
I
you for
really
having
appreciate
me.
Thank you so much. Thanks. And I appreciate your time and everything. And we'll see you again somewhere in Kaban Park.
Peace.
Thank you.